first glance, the Edenfield family looks complete. At first glance, you see a mother and a father and their two beautiful daughters. But it's who's missing from this picture that has changed how this family views every aspect of life.
You know, growing up, my mom always taught us things are replaceable, people are not. And I think living what we've lived through, when the girls get anxious or nervous or upset about something, or something breaks, or somebody's late to something important, we always say, big stuff, little stuff. Little stuff. This is all little stuff. I don't know whatever could be the big stuff again, other than the two of them. But that's kind of how we look at things differently. As long as they are okay and the four of us are together, we're good.
This family of four was once a family of five. In 2020, the Edenfields lost their youngest daughter, Melina, at the age of 4 to pediatric brain cancer. From diagnosis to goodbye, this family only had a few weeks to come to terms. Melina had never been sick, never even on an antibiotic, until the day she complained of a headache.
At first, everybody really thought it was nothing because she presented okay. And they did a CAT scan. And when those results came back, her best friend from preschool's mother was actually a nurse in the emergency room and had seen Melina in the computer. And she wasn't working at that part that day, but came down. And she walked in when they told me, so that I wasn't alone, when they told me there was a mass on her brain.
And in that moment, the whole world changed.
Melina was supposed to have some reprieve when they put the shunt in and the pressure, and when we brought her home, she did nothing but decline. And I think that's when we knew this is bad. But then you still think, but she can be the miracle. You know, if somebody has to be, why not her?
From that moment on, Michelle and Keith were on a mission to learn as much as they could about a cancer that has ripped apart so many families. The problem they faced was a lack of information being shared and a lack of funding for research.
I will scream from the rooftops for the rest of my life for the funding for pediatric cancers in general. What we have learned is that 4% of the national funding goes to pediatric cancer. Less than 1% of that goes to pediatric brain tumors, which is the most deadly form of cancer. There's no collaboration, people don't work together, and we are working to change that. We are working with collaboratives to make institutions work together to share information, because that's the future of cancer research. We all need to share the data and do it together. So I think to realize, like, this is a major issue. Like, this isn't just Melina's story. This is a whole lot of parents who can't fight the fight that we're in right now, because A, they're in it. So how do you fight for funding when you're fighting for your child's life? And you don't realize the lack of until you're standing in the middle of all of this.
And the Edenfields are standing firm when it comes to fundraising in memory of their lovely little girl, and for the future of so many children just like her. Most nonprofit organizations only have to donate 20% of the money raised to the cause itself, but not this nonprofit. Thanks to countless volunteers and countless hours of dedication, 100% of the money raised through the Choose Joy, the Melina Michelle Edenfield Foundation, goes to research and information sharing. 100%.
But what I do know today, and what my Melina taught me, is that I can't control my circumstances. I can't stop bad things from happening. If I could, I would. But the only thing that I can choose is how I'm going to respond to it. And if my 4-year-old, who knew she was dying, can choose joy, then so can I.
This spring, the Edenfields are hosting a major fundraising event that will be full of life, a party full of personality, and of course, full of joy, with a little bit of cheetah print just to top it off.
I have spent my life chasing rainbows and cheetah print, screaming, choose joy. I realize what it looks like as a mental health professional, but I wouldn't have it any other way for her. But with our event, you know, we've done a golf outing. We had this amazing Choose Joy event on the green in Canfield. And we've had an amazing virtual 5K for 2 years now. And I always said, Melina loved parties and Melina loved big. And so we said, we've got to go big. And so I feel like we have.
For more information on the Evening of Joy coming up on March 19th, visit the Choose Joy Facebook page, and you'll see why this family is simply fearless in the fight against pediatric brain cancer.